Okay, so we're going to go over some of the information that isn't really in the slides that you've seen pictures of to try to make sure that you really understand that's going on here. So this lesson is called The Fall of Rome and kind of like the aftermath of that. So Rome was a massively large empire that stemmed from the city of Rome, which was located in Italy, right? It's that country that's shaped like a boot. Rome grew and grew and grew. It was massive, right? It's that map that you see when it said compare what happened over these 200 years. It's that first map you see with all that red, right? It's absolutely huge, okay? Rome was the empire at the time. It was gigantic. What ended up happening over time is through a number of things, right? Poor leadership, corruption in government, um, getting a little too large for actually. Like it's hard to manage a lot of space, especially when you have corrupt leaders. And lastly, like attacks by various tribes. They were called Visigoths. There were Goths, the Huns every now and again. So all these things combined to lead to what we call just the fall of Rome. So this empire fell apart. What was a huge, massive stretch that was all under the same flag, for instance, all collapsed. Right, that empire just completely fell apart, and places were left to kind of fend for themselves in various ways. When you have to do that, you're kind of left with this like uneasiness. The word would be like instability. So it wasn't stable. There was no guarantee that you could be safe um, from the bandits that could attack, from disease, all these different things. Now, what ends up happening is, as a result of that, the guy that we see in that picture was this dude by the name of Charlemagne. Now, Charlemagne was did the closest thing he could to recreate the Roman Empire, right? He managed to unite, to bring together a bunch of different land, primarily all throughout Europe, but it wasn't nearly close to the size, right? If you're on this slide and you go back a couple slides to that red, the one with the two maps on it, you'll see it's a lot of land, but it doesn't really compare to what Rome was. So this, just like with a lot of areas, it didn't stay forever. It eventually fell apart as well. But what we're going to look at is what were really like, what happened because of Rome falling apart, right? How, and what did that do to set up what we're going to do moving forward? So if we're thinking about our CHQ, so what were the conditions in Western Europe? So what was happening here in Western Europe that, like, that's it. I am so used to having to like say more about what the question is, but really that's it. Like, what was it like if you lived there? And it's going to set us up moving forward as, okay, if this is the conditions of living there, well then what do the people in leadership do? Or who fills this leadership vacuum if there isn't leadership? So you'll have a few slides. It'll go back and forth. So it'll be like, here's your sourcing, identify the HIPP information, and then the next one will be the source itself, and then just describe what it is that it's saying. And yeah, reach out if you have questions. I always feel like there's more that I need to explain, but honestly, I think it's kind of straightforward, and I think you'll be successful. So, good luck. You got this.